Hi, my name is Jamie Coco, and I'm here with Business 203 at Greenfield Community College, HR Management, doing a finals presentation. For this finals presentation, I have chosen two topics. Those topics are demographic and employee concerns, and organizational strategic planning. So for each of these topics, there will be subtopics, which I will briefly go over. Throughout this presentation, the subtopics, I will give examples from either Hungry Ocean, the book, or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the TV series. So, the subtopics are education, training, and employee history, individual judgment, poor employee ethics, data and statistics, performance evaluations, how to ensure compliance, organizational strategy, and finally, recruitment strategy. So get ready, grab some popcorn, let's have some fun. Let's get into HR. The first topic I'm going to address is demographic and employee concerns, and we're going to look at it through the lens of job analysis, education, training, and employment history. Now, Linda Grindlaw in Hungry Ocean explained a situation where one of her crew lied about his experience as a cook. Now, I want you to imagine, right, that you're out at sea and you're cut off from the rest of the world, and there's only so many things that you have to look forward to. And one of those things is food. Now imagine that person making the food does a terrible job and screws it up every time. That's going to bring your satisfaction as a crew, as a team down, make you more frustrated, make little things that happen throughout your day much more impactful and irritating to each other. She learned from that experience, fired the person when their trip was over, and proceeded to not make the same mistake. Now, on another end would be ethics, and employee ethics or employer ethics. So if you have a bad ethical foundation as a company, then your employees are going to have that same foundation. And It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, they chose to allow underage drinking because they thought they could make more money doing it and rationalized it, which was a poor moral and ethical decision. Now, the employees or the owners often are selfish and very braggy and even don't include the bartender, their only other employee, in decision making. The third thing we're going to talk about is data and statistics. If you know what your demographic is, if you know what you need to do to hire people or what traits are necessary, then you can hire people who fit positions for your job. Now, in Linda Grindlaw's situation, she knew that the position of being a crew member on one of these ships was undesirable, where you could be out for 30, 40, 50 days, cut off from the rest of the world. It makes it a tough environment to succeed or be able to mentally and physically keep it all together. So she told about a situation where she was waiting for crew to show up. And when they did, and she took their bags and brought their stuff on board, and they were most likely not going to leave. All right, so on to our next point, which is performance expectations. If someone doesn't know what they need to do to get somewhere, how do they get there? Now, Ken Blanchard, the author of 1 Minute Manager, gives a great analogy when he talks about someone at a bowling alley. Now imagine you're at a bowling alley, right? And you got that bowling ball in your hands and you roll it down the aisle. At the end of the aisle, in front of the bowling pins is a blanket, right? So the ball goes through. You don't hear anything. You don't see anything. You don't know what happened. You don't know how many you knocked down. You don't know if you knocked any down or which ones you knocked down. This is an example that happens in management all the time, where people, they do something, but they don't know if they did it right, or if they did it wrong, what did they do wrong about it? Now, Linda Grindlaw, in her book, has a similar situation. Now, for her, she creates a major duty list. So a list of different things that need to get done, and gives them to her crew. So instead of micromanaging and saying, do this, and then do this, I want it done this way and this way, she gives her crew some autonomy, gives them the list, and lets them prioritize and get it done in their own time. Now, let's talk about on the other situation, right? Other end. When someone's not doing something right, how do you ensure compliance? Now, in Linda Grindlaw's case, there was some good things and there's some bad things that she did. For one, in handling employee concerns, Instead of being sensitive, which she acknowledged in her writing, she would pick on people and bring things up, which was not good, creating a hostile working environment, which is illegal. Now, in other situations, when someone didn't come up and do something right or fell asleep at the wheel, in one situation, she got mad at them, berated them, let them know that it was a serious situation, and in one case let somebody go. So, she shows her ability to, one, take a step back and acknowledge that she didn't do something the right way, and two, also acknowledge if someone's not performing what's necessary to the job and doesn't have the right attitude, that it's time to let them go. The next point we're going to talk about is organizational strategic planning and budget constraints. Companies all day long are worried about budgets. Am I going to make my budget? And they make decisions based off how much cash they have on hand. The same comes an example from Linda Grindlaw. When her boss told her to come back because she wasn't getting enough fish, she chose to stay out so she can meet her quota, even against the crew, and putting a situation which was very stressful on them because she wanted to come back to cover her costs so her crew could get paychecks, not be demoralized, and also not be embarrassed at how little they returned with. Now, as Always Sunny in Philadelphia, they made two different decisions to change their theme, for one, turning into a gay bar, and for two, allowing underage drinking to make a profit, to make money off of that, which was totally unethical. Now, in another situation, we talk about competition. Knowing your competition is big, it's huge. And in Linda Grindlaw's case, she knew her competition. She knew the people who were strong in the fleet. She knew their habits and tendencies and used them to her advantage. She unethically lied in a situation, telling people that she was taking in less fish than she was getting, so that other competition wouldn't come over and steal from her fish. But in another situation, she knew how to strategically plan. If there was somebody who did want to set up nets next to her, which would cause her to have to move her ship and her location, she knew that if it wasn't a big deal to do it, to accommodate somebody else who was running a ship, so that in a situation where maybe her crew was under fire, that they would be able to help her and reciprocate in the situation.